Thursday night football always brings a special kind of energy, and this week was no exception. The lights were bright, the air was crisp, and anticipation buzzed through the stands as fans poured into Highmark Stadium, ready for another chapter in the storied rivalry between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. On paper, Week 3 looked like it would be a lopsided affair. The undefeated Buffalo Bills, riding high on momentum, were set to face the winless Miami Dolphins, a team still searching for its first spark of the season. Most analysts and fans alike expected a straightforward game, with Buffalo steamrolling their division rivals. The odds seemed stacked against Miami, and the pregame chatter was all about how many points the Bills would win by. The home crowd was electric, confident that their team would deliver another dominant performance. But as every football fan knows, the NFL is a league where anything can happen, and expectations can be shattered in an instant. Instead of a routine blowout, what unfolded was a genuine thriller that kept everyone on the edge of their seats. The Dolphins, written off by many, came out swinging, determined to prove they belonged on the same field as the mighty Bills. Miami played with a level of intensity and passion that caught Buffalo off guard. Their offense found rhythm early, and their defense made key stops, forcing the Bills to dig deep and fight for every yard. The game quickly turned into a gritty AFC East battle, with both teams trading blows and refusing to back down. Every snap felt crucial, every play carried weight, and the tension in the stadium grew with each passing minute. The final score of 31-21 in favor of Buffalo doesn't even begin to tell the full story. The drama, the momentum swings, and the sheer willpower on display made this game unforgettable. For more than 3 quarters, the lead changed hands, and both teams had moments where it looked like they might seize control. The Dolphins answered every Bills surge with a big play of their own, keeping the outcome in doubt until the final minutes. Miami pushed Buffalo to their absolute limit, nearly pulling off a shocking upset that would have sent shockwaves through the league. The Bills, tested in ways they hadn't been all season, had to rely on their experience and composure to finally pull away. This game was a testament to Miami's resilience, their refusal to quit, and their ability to rise to the occasion when everyone doubted them. For Buffalo, it was a wake-up call, a reminder that no win comes easy in the NFL. The contest showcased heart, determination, and the razor-thin margin that separates victory from defeat. Players on both sides left everything on the field, their faces etched with exhaustion and pride. As the clock wound down, the atmosphere in Orchard Park was electric and tense. The underdog Dolphins refused to go away, and the Bills faithful held their breath with every snap, knowing the game could turn at any moment. In the end, this game was a powerful reminder that predictions and records mean nothing once the players step onto the field. Every game is a new story, and on this night in Orchard Park, both teams wrote a chapter that fans won't soon forget. The narratives for the Bills and Dolphins couldn't have been more different. Heading into this highly anticipated matchup, the contrast between the two teams was stark. On one side, you had the Buffalo Bills, a team riding high on confidence, momentum, and a flawless start to their season. On the other, the Miami Dolphins, struggling to find their footing, desperate to avoid a disastrous 0-3 start. The Bills, at 2-0, looked like championship contenders. Their locker room buzzed with energy, and their fans were already dreaming of a deep playoff run. Every win seemed to reinforce the belief that this could be their year. Their explosive offense and disciplined defense dominated early opponents. The Bills had been putting up points with ease, while their defense stifled even the most creative attacks. They played with a swagger that only comes from winning. Fans expected another easy win at home. The stadium was electric, filled with anticipation and the confidence that comes from recent success. For many, this game felt like a formality, a stepping stone to bigger challenges ahead. The Dolphins, at 0-2, faced mounting pressure. Their season was already teetering on the edge, and another loss could send them into a tailspin. The weight of expectations and the sting of early defeats hung heavy over the team. Analysts wrote them off, seeing them as clear underdogs. Headlines questioned their ability to compete, and TV pundits barely gave them a chance. The narrative was set. Miami was simply outmatched. The pre-game analysis favored the Bills heavily. Odds makers and experts alike predicted a lopsided affair, with Buffalo expected to cruise to victory. The Dolphins were given little more than a puncher's chance. The Dolphins' only hope was a perfect game and an off night for Buffalo. They needed flawless execution, unwavering focus, and maybe a little bit of luck. The margin for error was razor thin. Divisional games, however, have a special kind of magic. No matter the records, these matchups are fueled by history, pride, and the knowledge that anything can happen when rivals collide. The past is filled with upsets and unforgettable moments. Familiarity between teams often levels the playing field. Both sides know each other's tendencies, strengths, and weaknesses. It's a chess match, where preparation and heart can sometimes outweigh talent. Miami's players used underestimation as motivation. They rallied around the idea that no one believed in them, turning doubt into fuel. In the locker room, a quiet determination took hold. They came to fight, not just to collect a loss. Every player knew this was a chance to change the narrative, to prove the doubters wrong, and to show the league that the Dolphins still had bite. They had a plan to slow down the Bills and score points. Coaches worked overtime, crafting new strategies and emphasizing discipline. The team practiced with a sense of urgency, knowing that execution would be everything. While the world saw a mismatch, the Dolphins saw an opportunity. They embraced the underdog role, ready to play with nothing to lose and everything to gain. They aimed to shock everyone and salvage their season. In a game where few gave them a chance, the Dolphins were determined to write their own story, and maybe, just maybe, pull off the upset of the year. From the very first whistle, the Miami Dolphins made it clear that they weren't just there to play. They were there to make a statement. Entering the game as heavy underdogs, few outside their locker room gave them a real chance. But the Dolphins came out with a fire in their eyes, determined to prove the doubters wrong and show the world what they were truly capable of. They played with relentless energy and laser-sharp focus, immediately putting the heavily favored Buffalo Bills on their heels. Every snap, every tackle, every yard gained sent a message. Miami was not going to back down. The Dolphins' sideline buzzed with excitement as they executed big plays, while the Bills, caught off guard, struggled to find their rhythm. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa led a poised and confident opening drive, orchestrating a series of crisp passes and smart decisions. The drive culminated in a spectacular touchdown, igniting the Miami crowd and sending a surge of belief through the team. Tua's leadership set the tone, and his teammates rallied around him, feeding off his energy and composure. On the other side of the ball, Miami's defense played with renewed purpose and intensity. They swarmed the Buffalo backfield, sacking the quarterback and forcing hurried throws. The Bills' high-powered offense, usually so dominant, found themselves stifled and frustrated by Miami's aggressive approach. The Dolphins dictated the tempo from the outset, playing at a pace that kept the Bills' defense guessing and off balance. Miami's offense moved quickly and decisively, mixing up their play calls and keeping Buffalo on their toes. The Bills, used to controlling games, suddenly found themselves reacting instead of dictating. The game remained close throughout the first half, with both teams trading blows and neither able to pull away. Every possession felt crucial, and the tension on the field was matched by the intensity in the stands. Fans from both sides watched anxiously as the teams battled for every inch. Miami's coaching staff, led by head coach Mike McDaniel, executed a masterful game plan. Their preparation was evident in every play call and adjustment, keeping the Bills guessing and maximizing the Dolphins' strengths. The coach's belief in their players was contagious, fueling the team's confidence. The underdog Dolphins weren't just surviving, they were thriving. Every successful play, every defensive stop, and every celebration on the field showed a team that believed in itself. They embraced their underdog status, using it as motivation to play with even more heart and determination. As the teams headed into halftime, the score was tied, and a palpable tension filled the stadium. Fans held their breath, knowing that the outcome was far from certain. The energy in the building was electric, with both sets of supporters sensing that something special was unfolding. Bills fans looked on in disbelief, stunned by the Dolphins' resilience and fight. Meanwhile, Miami supporters erupted in cheers, their hope and excitement growing with every play. The contrast in emotions was striking, one side gripped by anxiety, the other fueled by belief. By halftime, the Dolphins had proven they belonged on the same field as the mighty Bills. They matched their opponents in every phase of the game, showing poise under pressure and a refusal to be intimidated. The message was clear. Miami was here to compete, and they weren't going away quietly. As the second half loomed, the only question left was whether the Dolphins could finish the job and pull off one of the season's biggest upsets. The stage was set for a dramatic conclusion, with Miami's underdogs ready to bite back even harder. Facing an unexpected challenge, the Bills looked to Josh Allen. He remained calm and composed, delivering when it mattered most. Allen's 3 crucial touchdown passes kept the Bills in the fight. His ability to extend plays and deliver accurate throws was key. Allen's leadership and clutch performance carried the Bills to victory. He was not just a quarterback, he was a competitor. When his team needed him most, Allen delivered. The second half began with palpable intensity. The game was tied and every play felt crucial. Both teams walked a tightrope, with victory and defeat on either side. Neither team could establish a comfortable lead. The third quarter was a strategic chess match. The physicality of the game ramped up, with players fighting for every inch. Entering the fourth quarter, the game was still hanging in the balance. The pressure was immense, and champions are made in such moments. The Bills were in an unfamiliar position, fighting for their lives. The Dolphins had a golden opportunity to steal a win. The atmosphere reflected the tension on the field. The final quarter was set for a dramatic conclusion. In a close game, one mistake can change everything. For Miami, that mistake came at the worst time. A roughing the punter penalty gave Buffalo a fresh set of downs. The penalty was a momentum killer for Miami. The Bills' offense, given a second life, capitalized on the opportunity. Josh Allen led a go-ahead scoring drive. The Dolphins' lead slipped away due to their own error. It was a heartbreaking turn of events for Miami. The mistake was a lesson in how quickly a game can turn. The Bills took advantage, while Miami was left to regret. The penalty was a critical error with massive consequences. Despite setbacks, Miami had one final chance. Tua Tagovailoa led a promising drive, moving the ball well. The Dolphins crossed midfield, inching closer to scoring range. But then, a critical mistake occurred. Tua's pass was intercepted by Buffalo's Taron Johnson. The interception sealed the victory for the Bills. Miami's comeback attempt ended in heartbreak. The Bills' sideline erupted in relief and celebration. The Dolphins were devastated, having come so close. 2 crucial mistakes cost them the game. It was a painful lesson in the NFL's unforgiving nature. The interception was the final nail in the coffin. After the final whistle, emotions ran high. The Bills felt relief, having dodged a bullet. Coach McDermott acknowledged the challenge Miami posed. The victory was a lesson in resilience and focus. The Dolphins' locker room was filled with disappointment. They had played well, but were undone by critical mistakes. Coach McDaniel was proud but frustrated by the errors. Miami had proven they could compete with the elite. The loss was a harsh reminder of the importance of execution. The Dolphins left everything on the field, but fell short. The long flight home was filled with thoughts of what if. They had shown potential but needed to eliminate costly errors. This game has significant implications for both teams. The Bills remain undefeated but received a valuable wake-up call. They learned they are not invincible and must focus for 60 minutes. Josh Allen's performance solidified his elite status. The Bills will review the game to address vulnerabilities. For Miami, the loss is devastating, dropping them to 0-3. The game exposed their lack of discipline in critical moments. Despite the loss, Miami proved they can compete with top teams. They showed heart and a brilliant game plan. The challenge is to build on positives and eliminate errors. Their season is on the line, but they showed a spark. Miami must learn from this game to fight back.